that.
Ja, das ist jetzt das Puzzle in diesem Level. Ticks beschießen und im Schatten bleiben.
It should offer full protection while allowing us to identify the source of radiation.
Und es ist die Astrea.
The Astrea appears to be the source of radiation.
The main reactor. I estimate it will continue burning for several months.
Das ist auch mega gruselig, wenn man sich das mal vorstellt. Eine wirklich Atomexplosion und dann kommt halt sowas. Also das ist so eine ungefähre Idee, was Tschernobyl durchgemacht hat. Ne, wie man so sieht. So, kommen wir da durch? Oder ist hier eine Scheibe? Hier ist eine Scheibe. Wie komme ich hier raus? Da ist, glaube ich, offen. Das sieht offen aus. Ja, das ist die Tür. Schön. Mal einmal scannen. Ist hier irgendwas? Da vorne ist eine Tick. Süß. Jetzt müssen wir auch schnell hier durch. Und die wartet nämlich nur da auf uns. Oder ist die draußen? Ich glaube, die ist draußen, ne? Sie ist dort. Dort draußen und am Verrecken. Hoffentlich. Hier sind Griffe, das heißt, hier muss auf sein. Wenn die jetzt hier ankommt. Doch, die will sich hier durchquetschen. Ich breche ins Essen. Dann komm her, du Mistvieh. Haha, du bist unter dem Terrain. Schade für dich. Ja, aber ich meine, die Optik ist cool. Oh, was ist das? Eine Batterie. Können wir die gebrauchen? Ach so. Nee, ist sie nicht. Die ist nämlich da unten. Nee, die Tick ist in der Levelgeometrie gefangen. Geil.
Extra precaution will be needed to stay out of the light. Furthermore, I am detecting a significant biomass presence. I strongly advise frequent use of your threat scanner to plan an optimal route.
Acknowledged.
Na gut, die hat mich jetzt angegriffen, weil ich die andere angegriffen habe. Aber, So, Schild ist wieder voll. Los geht's. Du hättest aber einen EVA-Booster.
It would appear Delta Squad has become familiar with the operation of the torpedoes. Perhaps that is what caused their vessel to crash.
Given that they began investigating the torpedoes in close proximity, that result is highly probable. An activation pod.
Consumed for its energy. The corresponding member of Delta Squad must be unable to reboot. They should exercise extreme caution. An energy from the anomaly.
Is it still stable?
I believe so, at least relatively. Nonetheless, we should remain focused on finding a torpedo if we hope to do so before the anomaly collapses.
Yet another Delta. It seems the battle here did not go well.
Agreed. The biomass was already incredibly dangerous in my time. As we know, this century will have it far worse.
So, müsste der mich jetzt hier nicht angreifen? Da war auch gar keiner.
Operational status report. Delta Squad operating at minimum capability. Activation pods are offline. Delta Actual and Delta 9. KIA. Delta 13
Apollo, should we respond?
Negative. The interference is still too great. Nonetheless, I will continue monitoring the situation.
Wo gehen wir denn jetzt am besten durch? Hier würde ich mal sagen.
Fields at 95%.
So, auf jeden Fall ist das hier ein bisschen spannender als der Rest vom Spiel. Manchmal vielleicht. Ja. Ja, das Shooter-Segment.
Another pulse.
Magnitude minimal. I believe we still have ample time before our forcible return to the future.
Forcible Return vor allen Dingen.
There is a faint distress signal emitting from a cavern just ahead. Its frequency is similar to Delta 6's earlier transmission. We should investigate.
Dann tue ich das mal, ne? So, was haben wir hier? Batterie. Ne, die können wir auch benutzen,
Distress signal located.
um die zu
It's
sprengen.
a CubeSat, one of Delta Squad's recon units.
It appears to be in need of our support.
Also wir könnten es benutzen, um die zu sprengen.
Delta Unit, I'm picking up your signal in proximity to Reconnaissance Satellite 3. Is that you, 13?
Yes.
Or was it Jack?
Jack, we have insufficient time for complications. We should keep our relation to this combat unit as simple as possible. I will conduct all communication with you privately, and I must insist we
Beef.
maintain the persona of Delta 13.
Piff.
Very well, Apollo. Delta 6, this is Delta 13. I read you. ReconSat 3 was engaged by multiple hostiles. I moved to assist.
I see. 13. Your return is peculiar, but appreciated. It appears ReconSat 3 would not have survived its perimeter sweep without your aid.
Vor allem habt ihr den doch da gelassen.
What is your status? Is your pod operational?
Affirmative. All systems nominal. Rally at your position.
Acknowledged. ReconSat 3 will lead the way. Destination, Kronos 2 Bridge. I will require your assistance in assessing the bio-torpedoes.
Acknowledged. We are en route. 13 out.
Der ist auch gut versteckt hier.
Your replication of tactical speech was convincing.
My experiences with Liv have taught me many things. It would appear that improvisation is one of the most useful.
Agreed.
Another pod.
I will ensure that a similar tactical error is not made with our pod.
How?
I am an advanced tactical AI. Between situational analysis, predictive heuristics, and extensive experience, I am confident my results will exceed those of my ancestors.
Ja, auch das stimmt.
ReconSat 3, I can see your signal light from here. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles.
Alles gut?
Interference from the anomaly. Delta 13, status. Are you experiencing malfunctions again?
No.
Negative. No malfunctions detected.
Acknowledged. Proceed with caution. There are hostiles in the area.
Understood.
Vor allem, wie viele Combat Shells hier auch sind, ne?
ReconSat 3 is detecting a nearby threat. Advise clearing the area before you proceed.
Threat resolved.
From what I can discern, I believe that is the Kronos 2's bridge.
That is my assessment as well. Delta 6 reported it as their location. We should proceed with meeting them there.
Additional threats detected. I recommend enacting the sweep and clear protocol.
Sweep and clear. Schön, wenn der Alien-Stückchen an einem vorbei. So,
Shields at 50%.
Bisschen wenig, ne? Aber er lädt schnell wieder auf. Da ist Delta 6. Hallo. Wie geht es Ihnen?
It appears you've arrived here intact.
Yes.
We need to locate the torpedoes as soon as possible.
Thank you, Delta 6. We should continue our mission immediately.
Agreed. Primary objective: threat assessment of the hostile devices. Secondary objective: establish a warning beacon for passing vessels.
You are unable to reboot, correct? Perhaps I should take the primary objective.
Agreed. A further encounter with the bio-torpedoes would likely result in operational failure on my part. However, I can still provide some assistance. By leveraging the Kronos 2 systems, I have already performed a sensor sweep. In doing so, I have identified a large number of active torpedoes in a nearby clearing. The results are available here, on the holotable, if you wish to review them.
Can you push the objective to my ARM computer?
Affirmative. I've also included the clearing's coordinates as the associated location marker, should you need it.
Acknowledged.
You may proceed through here to reach the clearing. I will begin efforts toward our secondary objective shortly. Report back here once you have completed your assignment.
Copy that.
Interference from the Astraeus radiation will continue beyond the arrival of the Ithaca. It is unlikely Delta 6's secondary objective will be accomplished.
We are fortunate to have their assistance, though. Locating torpedoes has saved us considerable time.
Agreed. The alignment of our objectives is fortunate indeed.
Ich überlege gerade, in welche Richtung das Brückenfenster war. Ob das jetzt da oder da war. Im ersten Teil. Ja, hier ist ein Holotable. Danke.
Delta 6, you reactivated Kronos 2 sensors to obtain these readings.
Correct. As you know, the R&D priority protocol indicates we must collect detailed information firsthand. These readings are merely a foundation for your assessment.
Of course.
Please avert your headlamp. The ocular overload protocol is not currently applicable. Please point your headlamp in another direction.
Fuck you.
Delta 6, what happened while I was MIA?
You wish to understand what occurred after the anomaly's departing pulse rendered you offline?
Affirmative.
Very well. Shortly after that moment, one of the nearby torpedoes activated. Athena attempted evasive maneuvers, but the device's tracking was superior. A further torpedo activation resulted in a nearly simultaneous squad wipe. We then rebooted aboard the shuttle as it crashed. Athena went offline. Delta Actual ordered we continue our threat assessment while working to re-establish our reboot protocols. We failed. Eventually, the anomaly reappeared. A brief duration after that, you returned. That coincidence is peculiar.
Naja, wie dem auch sei, wir können jetzt hier rein. Und hier sind auch wieder viele neue Ticks.
Delta Squad was not able to safely perform their assessment. How will we collect our data on the base genetic material?
Unlike the rest of Delta Squad, you have my assistance. I will bring the entirety of my electronic countermeasure suite to bear against the torpedoes. I am certain I will be able to disable their proximity detonators.
And if there are additional defensive systems?
A possibility I have already considered. We'll be ready. Furthermore, I shall reconfigure your threat scanner for inspecting the torpedo incubators. Stand by. Reconfiguration complete. Your threat scanner should now be able to generate a detailed mapping of the biomass's base genetic material, though the range of the instrument has been somewhat diminished.
I suppose that's a trade-off we'll have to accept.
Indeed. captain may be close to having expended the fuel cell.
A biomass torpedo, already detonated. Is there any value in scanning it?
Negative. Dr. Harlan has already gleaned as much as possible from such specimens.
Na, dafür, dass er in der Sonne liegt, ist das doch eher unwahrscheinlich.
Apollo, what makes the base genetic material no longer viable once a torpedo detonates?
Dr. Harlan's findings indicated that a sort of catalyzing substance is introduced, causing the base genetic material to rapidly form into the spores characteristic of detonation. Shields at 95%.
Auch schön, dass du dann einfach aufhörst zu labern.
Shields at 95%.
So, da werde ich jetzt noch hingehen und dann lassen wir die Schilder mal aufladen.
Shields at 50%.
So, weil da ist ein Torpedo.
Apollo, I've located a torpedo. Is this close enough to scan?
Unfortunately, no. We need to reach the forward end of the torpedo, where the base genetic material is housed.
You're certain that we're masked from the detection?
Yes, my countermeasures are holding. It should be safe to approach.
Na dann.
Shields at 95%.
Haben wir noch hier den Torpedo und müssen nach vorne in den Inkubator.
Apollo, is this range sufficient for a scan?
It should suffice. However, the torpedo's shielding is denser than anticipated. For a successful scan, it appears we'll need to expose the base genetic material. I believe that by interfacing with the torpedo, I should be able to reveal the incubator at the forward end.
Do you need me to do anything?
Possibly. I cannot be certain until I have actually accessed the torpedo's systems. I advise maintaining full tactical readiness.
Understood.
I will begin once you designate the incubator for scanning.
Tactical enough.
This incubator appears viable.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Facing now.
Wir gehen wieder zurück.
This is more complex than I had.
Apollo?
The torpedo's defense protocols have activated. It has locked the incubator and is attempting to power its main drive. It's beginning launch procedures. I will stall for as long as possible.
How much time do we have?
Not long enough to discuss it. I'm opening access hatches on the front end. The manual overrides within them should trigger a maintenance mode.
Override activated.
Perfect. Take care of the one on the opposite side as well.
Second override activated.
Well done, though the launch procedure is still online. Perhaps we can overheat the main drive. Enabling maintenance mode gave us access to the torpedo's cooling cells. Remove them. The cells are locked behind a protective housing. Lower it.
Cells removed.
Perfect. You will need to remove the second array on the opposite side as well.
Additional cells removed.
Jack, the launch procedure is nearing completion.
Aha.
Jack, it's launching. Get clear of the torpedo immediately.
Und wir waren fast so weit. Naja, schnell fliegen die Dinger nicht, ne? Und nu?
Fortunately, I believe there are additional torpedoes in the vicinity. What we learned here will make us more prepared for a second attempt.
Mattia, I've connected conduits from the Kronos activation bay to a mobile reactor. I believe I can repurpose some of the bay's components to act as a warning beacon. With sufficient power, it may be able to overcome the interference.
Acknowledged. I am still proceeding with the threat assessment.
Copy that. Delta 6 out.
Apollo, is it possible Delta 6 could sufficiently power the beacon to warn the Ithaca?
Unlikely. All evidence from both the present and future indicates they will not. I see no reason to dissuade them, though. We should focus on our mission.
Agreed.
So, das ist, glaube ich, im Sonnenlicht, oder?
Incubator reached.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I believe I may may be able to stall the launch procedure for a greater duration, but expediency will remain critical.
Understood.
Initiating interface program. I'm in. My countermeasures are holding, but you'll need to trigger the maintenance mode immediately.
One down.
Excellent.
Maintenance mode activated.
Indeed. The cooling cells are now exposed. Remove them to trigger an overheat. The cells can't be removed without lowering their housing first.
Cooling cell array clear.
On to the second one.
Cells clear.
The overheat process has initiated. The drive housing is open. Destroy the main drive.
Main drive destroyed.
Launch sequence averted. That finally did it.
Yay.
Able to unlock the incubator now. And we should do so quickly. It appears we may not have much time.
Incubator exposed.
Excellent. We should begin the scan immediately. Scanning.
Apollo.
Imprinting now. It should not be much longer. Just a moment longer.
Nimm dir so viel Zeit, wie du brauchst.
Apollo.
Data secured. Well done, Jack.
Gott sei Dank. Ja, und jetzt?
I suppose now we should simply wait for the anomaly's collapse.
I believe so, yes.
Fump.
It does appear to be fairly unstable at this point. I estimate no more than a few minutes remain.
Very well.
Perhaps there is a way we could signal the Doctor and Captain Rose that we are ready to return.
Were that viable, I would have expected them, or you, to have already suggested a means for doing so.
Certainly. However, I was attempting to prompt one of your creative solutions.
I see.
Na, da passiert was?
The anomaly is going to close any moment now.
Preparing for return displacement. Jump imminent.
Fump.